How's it going, everybody? Welcome into the Haunt Crew, and it's another episode, but this time we have a very, very special guest from Sinister Visions. It's Chad Savage. How's it going, Chad?
Hello.
How are you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's the best month of the year.
Uh, how's the weather and everybody treating you up there in South Bend, Indiana?
We October just arrived. It feels like we had late summer weather, well into the middle of the month, and then it's like somebody flipped a switch. I mean, the trees are still green. It's kind of weird, but
Yeah,
last week finally dropped down into the 50s and actually feels like October, which is very nice.
right. Yeah. So, can you tell us a little bit about Sinister Visions, how it got started, how you created it, and let the people know out there?
Sure. Um, just putting it all in order in my head. So I graduated college in 1993. Started working under the name Sinister Visions unofficially around that time, doing freelance work. Worked corporate jobs in the 90s, through the late 90s, and then at the beginning of the 2000s, we had my wife and I had a baby, and while that was happening, she was diagnosed with a couple of medical issues, which kind of put her down for a year and a half, for all intents and purposes. So I
Hmm.
found myself in a situation where I needed to be home because there was an infant, and my wife needed help, and so I had a computer, an internet connection, and a love of Halloween and haunted things. So I just threw all in behind that. Connected with Leonard Pickle at Haunted Attraction Magazine at the time, who was kind enough to trade me ad space for design help with HauntCon and some other things he was working on. So that's kind of how I got started. And then it just kind of went from there. And here we are about 20 years later. Oh, and
Sweet.
Sinister Visions is, I never actually said what it is. So it's basically just me. It's the name I work under. It's graphic design and web design for Halloween, haunted houses, horror themed things. I also do t-shirt designs, products like patches, pins, stickers. I sum it up as dark visual design because that seems to kind of encapsulate all the things I do.
Awesome. And we're just now being joined also by our co-host James. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's going on, Brian? How's it going, Chad?
Hey, James, glad you could make it.
Yeah, man, better
Yeah,
late than never.
yeah, we were afraid you weren't going to make it, James. I was just telling Chad off the air here that we were definitely going to miss you, but I know you had some stuff going on, and but yeah, we're so glad you made it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work through it, Brian. Just want to be here and talk to Chad a little bit and talk to you a little bit. So glad to make it in, brother.
Awesome. So, Chad, you said that you do T-shirt designs and everything else. What really inspired you in the to reach out really to the haunt community? You know, why not baseball teams or whatnot?
Oh, I was the kid. I was always the kid that liked Halloween better than Christmas. There's no accounting for it. I was born into a reasonably conservative Southern Baptist family in Little Rock, Arkansas. You'd never know it. I always gravitated towards creepy shit. Despite my upbringing, my parents were really kind of, we did celebrate Halloween in a big way. My dad was a big fan. I got to trick or treat in the 70s. It's pretty great. But yeah, my upbringing does not in any way account for my aesthetic and the things that I've always been into. So once I got out on my own, it was not really ever a question of what I was going to want to do for a living. That said, had you told me as a teenager what I would be doing when I was 50 years old, I would not have believed it at all. Because I think I have
Right.
the best job in the world.
Right. Also, Monster Misfits. He's Vic Springsteen down here in Alabama. He does a haunt, and
Yep.
he said you did a zombie for his shirts.
Yeah.
Zombie
2 weeks
design.
ago. Yeah.
Sweet. So y'all got some connections. Yeah, I know Vic Springston, man, is a great guy. He does Haunt for Heroes down here, and Center Point, Alabama, which is in the Birmingham area, the actual main city. So that's pretty cool that y'all work together.
Yeah. Yep. I work with
Yeah.
attractions all over the country, starting to be all over the world. Other thing I didn't mention, fonts. I have 30 free typefaces that I made that you can get at sinisterfonts.com. They're all free for personal commercial purposes. I've always been into typography, and late 90s, I figured out how to actually make fonts for the computer. And like I said, I've got 30 at this point. Only reason I don't have more is time, because they're very labor intensive to create. But so that's another thing I do.
Right.
And you see those everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So it's sinistervisons.com.
Sinistervisions.com. The simplest is actually sv23.com, which is a landing page that links out to all of the things that I do, and that are, projects and whatnot. My art site, web store, have a thing I do called Cult of the Great Pumpkin, which is just a celebration of Halloween all year, and all that good stuff.
Okay, well that's pretty cool. So yeah, if you like free stuff, Monster Misfits in the comments said he likes free, so I think we all like free stuff. But no, seriously.
Sinisterfonts.com, 30 fonts.
Yeah, but go also, not. I mean, we love free stuff, but at the same time, go out there and check his website out, and you never know what else you can grab and buy on his website as well.
Also, sinistersonics.com, 9 or 10 half-hour or so soundscapes that I made years ago, for various reasons that, again, I think they're on most of the services, like SoundCloud and Spotify and whatnot. But I got tired. You know how you get, well, actually, maybe not people so much. When I was younger, every year they would come out with sound effects cassettes. And it got to a point where you buy the new one, and it was just recycled sound effects that you've been hearing since the 50s. So I decided I wanted to make something that didn't do that. And I pulled sounds from really weird sources, like extracting them out of video games and things like that, sampling movies, and wove them all together into tracks that were creepy but didn't have all the cliche screams and howls and angry cats that you hear in, everything produced from the 50s through the 90s.
Right.
So that's another
sweet. Man, that is very interesting. I'm very interested in checking that out, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is cool. That is cool. So, Chad, question for you, man.
Yes,
so you like creating technical stuff and creepy things like that. Do you get out and enjoy any haunts, man, or is your business keeping you pretty wide open?
In October, not really. When I get to see haunts is usually during trade show haunt tours,
right?
Like MHC and Transworld, and then the Legendary Haunt Tour. All of that said, I am leaving Saturday for Chicago to hit Statesville Haunted Prison on Saturday, and then Hell's Gate on Halloween night. So a little bit.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it is weird though. The last couple of years, I really have had to stick close to home, just because so many updates, people adding dates, changing dates, weather cancellations, all the other stuff. Yeah, I can't be too far from home. I actually was supposed to go to the DeadCon in Fort Wayne the second or third weekend in October, and I realized leading up to it that was going to be a really bad idea, so I didn't wind up being able to go. And it was a good thing. That weekend was nuts.
Right.
Wow.
Rewinding a little bit here, I know everybody don't want to talk about it, but I wanted to ask you about COVID. Last year, COVID hit everybody extremely hard. We've actually talked to some people, and they said somehow, surprisingly, it amped up their business more. How did COVID affect you and your business?
Thankfully, not as much as I was afraid it was going to. March, April, even into May of last year, I was really worried that everything was just going to dry up and I wasn't going to be able to pay my mortgage. And thankfully, that didn't happen. A lot of haunt owners who were either not going to be open or were going to be limited in their operations pivoted and had me do other stuff for them for like Christmas and just like their regular businesses. Some attractions completely changed. Like I had a couple that for legal reasons, they changed it from haunted house to haunted museum and just things like that. So it was lots of different approaches, very much determined by where people were geographically. Some places didn't open, some opened and completely changed up how they did things. Client in Kentucky made the whole thing a drive-through haunt and is keeping it that way because it was such a success. So it was actually really interesting to watch how innovative the industry got. With regard to how they dealt with things and how they figured out ways to open up safely, hopefully, most of them, and entertain people without being able to do things the way they had done them for, however many years they've been doing it. It was a good year for innovation, I think. We saw a lot of that, the results of that at Transworld in this last March. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. That was actually my next question was, do you go to Transworld, Midwest Haunted conventions and stuff like that?
Yes.
Not only how many years have you been? Do you go like every year or what?
Yeah, I've been going to the Transworld show since it was in Chicago in the early to mid 2000s. I've been going to MHC since before it was in Columbus. Exhibiting at both. I also do all of their branding and the websites and the artwork and the T-shirts. And basically, if you go and you see a sign, I probably made it.
Mm-hmm. So how long have you been in the industry? Like how many years?
I would say officially full time, 20 years. Unofficially, like if you figure in stuff that I did before it was full time, since the late 80s. The first logo I ever did for an actual haunted house was Haunted Verdun Manor in Dallas in 1991, which is now Thrillvania. And I just got to redo their logo a year or so ago, so that was kind of cool to be able to go back and work with one of the very first attractions I ever worked with and update their branding for them.
That's pretty cool. We got to get up to Transworld, James.
Oh yeah, you do.
Oh man, I've been wanting to go so bad.
I'm taking my 19-year-old this year to help me out in the booth, and he's been to MHC. And in talking about it, I could see that he was thinking in those terms. I was trying to explain it. I was like, no, dude, this is so much bigger. So much bigger. And the MHC this last year was a smaller production than it usually is. So, I was explaining to him, just walking the floor, you can spend 2 days just doing that, let alone all the other stuff there is to do.
Oh, yeah, it's massive.
It's 4 solid days of exhibiting, and then the nights are packed. So yeah, that is an intense show. But the stuff on the floor is amazing.
We need to get there, Brian, for sure. We need we need to put some time in off work and just head on up, man.
Absolutely, yeah. Yep. So going back to what James asked you earlier about going to haunts and stuff. When you go to Transworld, do you participate in going to those haunts and stuff like the darkness that they throw out and everything?
I went to the darkness the first 2 years. Then at that point, it's like, well, I've seen it. So that's really been consistently, that's the only tour. They have done 1 or 2 bus tours. I'm going to forget which one it was. Shame on me. It was a few years ago. But I have, I turned 53 this last year. So bus tours, for the most part, I think are going to be a thing of my past, just because, walking through the haunt's great, but 5 hours on a bus there and back, not that big a fan of anymore.
Right. Have you met Insane Shane Dabbs?
Yeah.
Yes, he's a good buddy of ours, and
I want to say
yeah,
I've worked for Shane for Transworld in the past for parties and stuff that he's done. I know I've worked with him at the very least.
Right. Yeah, he's doing some Christmas stuff. He's doing Santaland up here in Huntsville now.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that he was actually trying to transition some of that over. I don't know. Don't recall me on this, but I think last year or this past, actually, he was actually doing some stuff with Scott Schwartz.
Okay.
I believe, and he was up there at Transworld or whatnot. I could be completely wrong, but anyway, yeah. So everybody knows Insane Shane Dabbs. How insane is really Shane?
He never. What am I trying to say? In front of me, he was perfect gentleman. What he does on his own time, who knows?
Yeah, well, evidently he's doing something right. He's got like Daniel Harris and everybody else liking him, and I met her up here when he had his own haunt called Disturbia Haunted House.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, Disturbia was nice.
Yeah,
I would like to have seen it.
Yeah, I know. I was heartbroken. What all happened, but it happens. It's life. They come and go, and hopefully, maybe in the near future he will have another haunt or something.
Yeah. Well, speaking of such things, Statesville Haunted Prison in Chicago. This is its final year. It's been going for years.
No way.
Yep.
Dang, man.
Yep.
See, we need the haunts to stay. Actually, I heard there's like a couple other haunts that I've seen like on Facebook. I was just scrolling, or I don't know, somewhere and about that it's like their final years, and it's so heartbreaking, especially when you love the industry and everything. It's like, no, don't leave us. We need you to stay around.
Right. Well, at least with Statesville, since it's a Zombie Army Productions haunt, they also have Hell's Gate. So not that those attractions are anything alike, but we'll still be able to go to Hell's Gate. And who knows what Zombie Army will come up with in the future.
Mm-hmm.
One thing they don't do is sit still.
Right.
Yeah. Hell's Gate is pretty intense. I've done some studying and some research on it.
Amazing.
And that is an amazing put together haunt.
I've been working with John and Zombie Army for a lot of years now. But I remember, it had to be the late 2000s when John and I were just starting to get to know, mid 2000s, just starting to get to know each other. And I was supposed to fly back from Midwest Haunters. And I bumped into John in the lobby of the hotel, and we got talking, and he was about to drive back. And this was just a few years after 9/11. So it was back when if you were going to fly, you had to get there like 3 hours early. And then it took like 2 hours to get out because of all of the security protocols and stuff they put into place. So long story short, I decided just to ride back with John because I figured that'd be much more fun because John's really fun to talk to. John, the John I'm talking about, John LaFlamboy from Zombie Army. And on that trip, he told me about Hell's Gate and the whole story behind it. And this was his dream haunt that he wanted to build. So 10 years later, when everything happened and fell into place and he was able to do it, it was really cool to get to watch not only him, but the whole crew put together and build that thing. Because John's brother, Kyle, is an architect, which I didn't know for a long time. So yeah, they designed it, they built it. It's incredible. Short of Disney's Haunted Mansion, I've not seen an attraction as innovative and detailed as Hell's Gate. I can't say enough nice things about it. It's amazing.
I can agree. And well, Chad, were you responsible for any designs or anything? Do you do anything for them out there at Hell's Gate? T-shirt designs or anything
for
like
Hell's
that?
Gate? Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, any branding or signs or T-shirts or anything you see short of other artists in the gift shop. I had a hand in, if not, was the guy that did it.
Have
Wow,
you ever
man.
done any haunt designs or any haunted attractions for any haunt in Alabama?
Um, as in like logos and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Well, I say that. I don't know. I mean, bear in mind, I've been doing this for 20 years. So there are a lot of haunts that have come and gone in that time. But I feel like I had to have done something in every state at this point.
Right. Um, yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, if you think about it, James, I'll tell you, it sounds like Chad has been a busy guy for over 15 plus years and very well known in the haunt industry and whatnot. And we really do appreciate what you do, Chad, and being so loyal to the haunt community and whatnot.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, James, you got anything else you want to throw at him or?
Well, Chad, like I said, just to reiterate what Brian said, we appreciate what you do. We're big haunt supporters. We get out and shake the bushes and try to bring all the updated information to the weekend warriors or the haunt enthusiasts down here. And we really appreciate someone of your caliber of talent to be on our show, be able to talk to you and see the things that you bring to the haunt community, especially Hell's Gate. And folks out there listening, I mean, I don't think, if you haven't studied on Hell's Gate and how big of a haunt and how detailed this place is, really do some research on it and check it out so you can see what Chad's had to do with it. I mean, these guys have I think I actually seen them on the Travel Channel one year on Best Haunts in America or something like that.
I think
And
that was probably Statesville.
was it Statesville?
Statesville was
Yeah.
fun. I don't
Yeah,
know
I've seen Statesville before. Yeah.
I don't know that
Okay.
Hell's Gate's been featured yet, but it's got to be a matter of time. And to be clear, the only thing I had to do with with Hell's Gate was branding. As far as its actual creation, that's all John and Zombie Army. And one other thing along those lines, Zombie Army has a web series called Days of the Living Dead, which you can find on Facebook or YouTube. That is a behind the scenes. Each episode is 5 to 7 minutes, and it's just behind the scenes of the build and then the season. It's really fun to watch and really well put together, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, how can if anybody wants to contact you, whether if it's a haunt design or whatever, can you tell the listeners out there how they can contact you through email or whatnot?
Fastest thing would just be sv23.com, and that's SV as in Sinister Visions. Like I said, that links out to everything I do, and I have prominent contact info on all the sites and whatnot. So wherever you may land, all you have to do is just look around real quick, and there's a contact link.
Sweet.
All right, cool. Well, so Chad, you got anything else you want to add in? We really do appreciate your time and especially taking time out of your busy schedule. So you got any final words, thoughts, or anything?
Happy Halloween weekend.
There you go, man. It's Hell Week. Let's get it going. And
Hell Week.
Yeah.
Hell Week.
Yeah, this is the busiest time when it comes to haunts and everything else, and not just for haunted attractions, but haunt designing to you name it, the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
So we appreciate your time, Chad. Thank you so much for coming on, and yes, we'll be definitely checking out your website and get over there, guys. You need to get to his website. Not only get the free stuff, but also the other stuff too. Very important. You go over to sinistervisions.com, correct?
That one works too.
All righty. Well, I appreciate it, Chad. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was fun.
Thank you, Chad.
You bet.
All right. That's Chad from Sinister Visions. James, what did you think, man? Sounds like he's very loyal to the haunt community and been around for long time.
Absolutely. He is definitely very, very loyal to the haunt community and what he brings to it. Just, like you said, designing T-shirts, designing fonts. It's amazing the detail that goes into some of these places. And, like banner designs, shirts designs, hat designs, logos, posters, and things like that. A lot of people never really think about, well, who is the person behind that? Is that just a standard random design? Did someone create that out of their own brain? And it sounds like Chad is one of those people that just created it out of his own mind and put it out there on paper, and it just turned out all kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's so awesome that he goes to Trans World, all Midwest Haunted Conventions, all these places, man. I feel like we're talking to someone big that is a that's very well known, not just by Vic Springsteen in the comments, but I mean by everybody. It seems like, or at least most by in the United States. Even going back to Shane Dabbs, I mean, great stuff there. I mean, and yes, Shane's been out of the haunt community for a little bit there and there, but still he's very well known and seemed like he had nothing but great stuff to say about him.
Absolutely, Brian. Chad, he's a legend, if you will, in what he does and the amount of time that he's been doing it. He's been doing it probably a lot longer than some of our listeners have even been alive. So when you take that into consideration, he has a lot of expertise on what he does. And I think everyone should check him out. If they got something they want designed or something creepy, he seems like the guy that can get it done for them for sure.
Right, yes, an easy outgoing person to talk to for sure.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Down to earth. I think he said he was from Arkansas. So,
No. He's not from Arkansas. He's from South Bend, Indiana, man. Got to get it
okay.
correct.
What did he say about Arkansas?
I'll have to actually go back and listen. So maybe y'all in the comments can tell us. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because like I said, I was just joining in late, and I thought he said that he was from Arkansas, but
No, he said that he was like when I was talking to him a little bit off air, guys. He was saying that he was like not even 5 to 10 minutes from the University of Notre Dame. So we're talking about right out there, the outskirts of Chicago, where Hell's Gates, all of them are at. Man, we're talking about that's where most of the places are, and if you're a haunt fanatic, haunt fan out there, you know where everybody knows where Hell's Gates is at. Just by saying Hell's Gates.
Yeah, you can't be a haunt fan and not know about Hell's Gate. That's for sure. That's super big time. Well, that's cool. Like I said, he's really close to it. He's on top of it. He's on top of where his business is at, and because I'm telling you, man, Illinois, Indiana, everything up there, man, is just loaded with haunts during October.
Absolutely.
There's so much to do up there. Carnivals, just you name it, man, and they got it. It's like Christmas in the South up there.
Yeah, and I mean, not to just to ramble on here, but heck, man, we went out. You remember to the Insanitarium when we saw that carnival up there and that they had, and heck, man, if that's just a little snippet of what is up there in Chicago, we need to get up there, James.
Yeah, we definitely need to go and make a trip and go up there, and I think it'd be good. Get some of the Rotten Review folks to take a trip up there with us, and maybe Justin McElroy, and
yeah.
I think he would appreciate it as well. So shout out to those guys as well tonight.
Yeah, correction. He said he grew up in Arkansas, but he lives in South Bend, Indiana. That's what Chad said in the comments. So thank you so much, Chad, for commenting.
50-50. I was 50-50 right on it. So
yeah, because I was like, I was in the dark for a little bit when he said Arkansas, and I was But so I'm glad we have some clarification, and I'm glad that Chad could pop in the comments there and everything else. But yes, so James, I think it was a successful interview for sure. I would love to have Chad back on the show, and I think it was a really good information and input that he put out there to the haunt community.
Absolutely, and Chad, we would definitely like to talk to you more after haunt season's over. Put you back on the show. I got a ton of stuff that I wanted to ask you, but I know we have time limitations. But I had many questions for you, but maybe we can do it again and give the folks something else to tune into.
All righty, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all your good stuff on YouTube. Ring the bell for notifications. Make sure you go over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/thehauntcrew13 and make sure you hit that like button. Send us a message. Say hi, whatever's on your mind. And maybe you could be the next one on the show, just like Chad Savage. And the rest of everybody else that we've already interviewed. So, with that being said, James, thank you for joining us as well. And till next time, keep it creepy. And as always, happy haunting.